Editing the Attribute Table by Sarah Smith Tripp. In this short video, you'll learn how to edit the attribute table, how to build a Python clause in Field Calculator, how to calculate the layer geometry, and finally, how to join layers by their attributes. We'll first go over the process of editing the attribute table and calculating a field. We'll add a field, introduce Field Calculator, and use Field Calculator to modify attributes. Here you can see I've loaded on two shapefile datasets. One are the provincial outlines within Canada, and the other are the major cities in Western Canada. We'll work with adding a field in the attribute table. So we'll right-click to pull up our attribute table, and then we'll go up to Table, and we can say Add, and we can define what field we're adding. In this case, I'm going to add a field, and I'm going to call it lat num, because I'm going to convert a field already present in the data to numeric. And I'm going to define it as double, and then I will put the number format as numeric. Now say I made a field, perchance I just didn't format it correctly, so in this case we'll keep it as non-numeric. Change this to text. And I don't want this field anymore. I can right-click and click Delete, click Save, and we'll no longer have this field. It's important to remember that you aren't able to retrieve a field once you've deleted it. Now to open the Field Calculator, we can go to our geoprocessing window and type in Field Calculator. This will bring up our calculate field. We can choose our input table. In this case, it's going to be the cities in Western Canada. And then we're going to choose the field that we're modifying. We're modifying the lat numeric. Here, we're saying lat underscore num, and then we're going to input a Python command. I'm going to convert latitude, which is currently in text, to numeric. To do that, we will have to input a Python code block here in the lat underscore num equals. And we'll just do a simple one to show you how it works right now. We're going to convert from a text to an integer that we'll input into this new field we've made. That requires the command int, and then we'll input the name of the field that we're working with, which is latitude. And then when we click Run, we'll see that lat numeric in our attribute table has been updated so that it has the same numbers as the latitude, but now this is in a numeric format. And this allows me to do things like change the symbology so that it's graduated based on my numeric latitude, which can be helpful for certain applications. In the next portion of this video, we'll go over the process of calculating the geometry. We'll use the Calculate Geometry tool to add latitude and longitude to our city's dataset, and we'll also use it to calculate the area of provinces. Before we work with Calculate Geometry, we need to add fields with which we can input our calculated geometry values. So I'm first going to add the northing and easting of my cities dataset. So I'm going to go open the attribute table. I'm going to go to Fields. Then I'm going to add a new field. I'm going to call this one Northing. Northing. I'm going to make the data type. And then I'm going to add an easting field. Data type, again, going to be text. And now, I'm going to go to Calculate Geometry, Attributes. My input features, first going to save this data. My input features are my points dataset. My target field is northing, and there I'm going to calculate the y-coordinate, and then my target field for easting, I'll calculate the x-coordinate. I'll make this the same as my points dataset because NAD 1983 Environment Albers is a UTM-based projection, so I know that this X and Y coordinate will be in meters. I'll then click Run, and now when I go to my dataset, I can see the northing and the easting for my cities. If I would like to calculate the area of the province, I can go to the provincial dataset, and then I can go to Add a Field, and I will put area, and I'll calculate this in square kilometers. Make the data type double. My number format will be numeric. Click OK. And now I'm going to go back to my Calculate Geometry attributes. And then I will select my provincial. And then I will scroll down to area. And here I'm going to calculate area. My area unit, I'm going to put square kilometers because that's what I've put in my field. And then I'll make it the same coordinate system that the shapefile is in. Click Run. And now I've calculated the area in square kilometers of my dataset. For the final portion of this video, we'll go over the process of joining by attributes using the Join by Attributes function. To join two layers by their attributes, we first need to make sure that they share a common attribute. So in this case, if I go to the attribute table, I have the province name and my provinces, and then I've created a new shapefile that has a shared field with province name. So now, if I want to join these layers by their attributes, I can click the Join field. And then my input data, I'm going to put the spatial join, and then I'm going to join based on province name to my province dataset. And then that output join field, we're going to put province name again. And we would like to join something like area square kilometer, the abbreviation, and we can click Run. And now when I go to my spatial join points, and I scroll to the right, I see that I've added the abbreviation and the area. So now I can color based on area of the province. Thanks for watching this video. Feel free to ask us questions by reaching out at the email and following the links below.